guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Kalisha. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that notification bell next to it so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. I feel like it's been so long since I sat down and had a chit chat with y'all. So today I'm coming at y'all with my story time about my labor and delivery. So let's get right into the video. All right, first things first, disclaimer. I feel like it's so bad that I even have to say this, but y'all should know this. This is my labor and delivery story. I'm not getting on here telling y'all my story to persuade y'all from going through the process, to scare you, or to over-exaggerate, under-exaggerate. No, I'm just telling you my story is specifically how my labor and delivery went. Everyone's labor and delivery story is different, whether you had a perfectly healthy baby, whether you had complications, stillborn, it really doesn't matter the case. No one's labor and delivery is exactly the same. So I'm just here today to share mine, just bring light to, positive light to stillborn birth as well as any birth. So yeah, if you all are okay with me talking about the birth of an unborn baby, then stick around, watch this video. If for any reason you feel uncomfortable hearing about it, this may not be the video for you. I will be sharing some very graphic as well as funny details. So if you're down to hear how my labor and delivery went of my precious baby girl, then you just can keep watching. So yeah, we're gonna get right into the video. January 1st, New Year's 2020. I woke up, well, I went to bed that night already expecting the worst. Unfortunately, I had not felt her move all that day. December 31st, I feel like I hadn't felt her move at all, and I somehow went to bed on it, and I knew first thing that morning that I would definitely wake up and call my doctor. So I woke up that morning, I called my doctor and told the little message machine, because you do know it was New Year's Day and a lot of offices are closed. So I got the emergency line at my clinic and I got to speak with this guy and just let him know my concerns, that I didn't feel any fetal movement. I had done everything. I had drank cold water, I had laid down, I did minor workouts, went walking, all that, and nothing. I knew exactly what made my daughter respond, and nothing was working. And so he told me he would get in contact with my doctor and someone would call me with further instructions. So while I was waiting on their call, I went ahead, got up, got ready, called my parents, called Rain's father, and I just let them know that I was about to go to the hospital and check on Rain. And so I packed a little overnight bag just in case I ended up having her, clothes for her, clothes for me, and any kind of postpartum items I thought I needed. So I packed that bag and everything, got my stuff together, and then Rain's father came and got me and we went to the hospital. So that was around about 10:30 a.m. First when I got to the hospital, I got checked in. I had my baby at St. Dominic's. That was who my clinic was associated with. So I went in, had to, of course, my name, date of birth, give all my insurance information, kind of like I was a new patient at their hospital because I had never been admitted. So went through that whole process. It took about 20-25 minutes. They took me to the maternity floor. I had to undress and get into the gown and just get myself situated in the bed they gave me. So I got checked into my room. A couple nurses came in and asked me a couple questions about what I had been feeling, what I had not been feeling, what I had done days prior, and anything that could have caused me to miscarry. That would have caused me to miscarry. Mind you, I hadn't gotten the news at this point. So I'm just, answering all their questions, and she got the heart Doppler, put that cold gel on your stomach, when you're about to get, the baby's heart checked or an ultrasound. So she did that with just the heart Doppler first. And now, just from day one, when I found out I was pregnant back in July, my baby has always had a very, very fast and loud heartbeat. So I just needed to hear that more than anything, to make sure she was okay, because mind you, I hadn't felt any movement in like a day or so. So she, you know, used a heart Doppler all around my tummy, nothing, no heartbeat, nothing. Of course, she hadn't said anything yet, and I'm saying it to her at this point. I'm like, there's no heartbeat, there's no heartbeat. I don't hear anything. Why don't I hear anything? Of course, so I'm like, no, her heartbeat's always loud. So they changed like 2 machines, and I'm still saying there's no heartbeat. Why can't y'all just tell me there's no heartbeat? Of course, I'm kind of getting frustrated at this point because y'all are still pushing on my stomach trying to find a heartbeat, and there's no heartbeat. So I'm just still sitting there questioning why they're still doing what they're doing. And eventually the ultrasound technician comes in with the actual ultrasound equipment where we could see Rain, and she comes in, she puts more jelly on, and she gets the thing, and you know, they look and I see Rain there and everything's fine, but there's no palpitation. I think that's where, if it's not, oh well. Her heart was not moving on the screen, and then that's when they were able to tell me there is no heart activity. There's no heartbeat, you know. So that's kind of how 2020 started off for me. Of course, when I first heard the words, so it wasn't a huge shock, but it made it way more real. Like, I got a real diagnosis. So of course I just kind of yelped and just cried for a little while, and I called my mom and let her know, because she was just reassuring me before I even went to the hospital. She was like, everything's fine, she just doesn't have as much room to move around like she wants, you know, and all that. And so she was reassuring me that everything was okay. So when I called her and told her, she melted just like I did, you know. So they, mind you, I'm about 2 hours away from my parents, so they had to get their things together and head down to me. So it would take about, you know, 2 hours, 30 minutes at max. So they, I do have family here where I live, so she just called some family members over to come sit with me. So around 11:30 or so, my aunt and my cousin showed up, and they came to sit with me until my parents made it. I had to call my office manager to pick up my puppy, come get Jax from my house, because I would be staying in the hospital overnight. They would be keeping me, and I would have to go ahead and have my daughter. So I had a lot of family members come in, of course. And once kind of all the traffic died down from the news, everybody getting the news, at least my close family members. After that, the doctor came in. It wasn't even my doctor that I had throughout my pregnancy. It was just a doctor who was on call that day. Mind you, it was New Year's Day. So it was just a random doctor that was already there. She came in and she explained the process that I would have to go through that night. Unfortunately, I would still have to deliver my baby, being that I was 36 weeks. Almost 9 months, well, they may be 9 months, almost 9 months, if not already 9 months, and there was no other way to have my baby but to deliver her. Of course, I could have done a C-section, but of course I didn't want to go that route because I'm healthy enough to push my baby out, although who wants to really go through that and not get the treasure at the end? But either way, that was just the predicament I was in. Those are the punches I was thrown, so I just had to go with it. So she kind of explained that we would have to induce my labor, being that my body isn't naturally ready to go ahead and have her. They would have to place cervix dilators and keep me overnight and monitor me in hopes of my body starting to get ready for labor. Of course, a little quicker process because I wasn't doing it naturally anymore. So that kind of takes me into, I kind of have my little notepad down here because a lot happened that day and it can kind of get real foggy. So I kind of got times and stuff like that written down with things that happened. So after she came in and told me what was going on, by that time my parents and everyone had made it, so everyone was in the loop. And they told me I needed to go ahead and eat. So around about 3 p.m. I ate, y'all. I had backyard burgers. I had a number 2 bacon cheddar, American cheese instead of cheddar, bacon plain, meat, cheese, and bacon, big burger, the 1/3 pound, and then had some seasoned fries and a large lemonade. It was so good. Mind you, that was gonna be my last meal until I had my baby, so I needed something fulfilling. I needed something greasy and just something that was gonna hold me off. So I had backyard burgers. I ate, and then around 6 in the afternoon, evening, that's when they came in and placed Cervidil on my cervix. So of course I was not dilated at all. Mind you, again, I was 36 weeks not expecting labor for another 2 to 4 weeks, you know. So I was not dilated at all, so they had to speed up the process. They use this medicine called Cervidil. It's like a flat piece of paper with a long string out of it, and they have to place it along your cervix. And all it is a cervix softener, which causes my cervix to thin out and then as a result open or dilate and start the birthing process. So again, it's called Cervidil. So she placed it in at about 6:30 p.m., something like that. And I mean, it was okay. It's kind of how women have their cycles all the time, girls. Y'all know we tampon. It was kind of like that. But when they check in your cervix, they go a lot further up and just about their hands. But I ain't gonna get into all that. Okay, she placed it on the cervix. Yep. So okay, so they told me I couldn't be doing a lot of up and down movement, a lot of going to the bathroom, using the bathroom, because they needed to stay, you know, against my cervix. So I just pretty much, I was able to use the bathroom after 2 hours after they placed it. I was able to use the bathroom and all that. And I think if you have to use Cervidil for some, don't quote me on this, but if you have to use Cervidil for an actual labor where you know your baby is alive and healthy, I don't think you can move a lot afterwards. The medicine could affect the baby some kind of way, but because of course there's no harm and danger that could have been done to my child at this point, I was able to get away with a lot of different medications, and I didn't have as many stipulations during my labor and delivery as most moms could have or would have. So after the cervix softener was placed, I'll just say some other stuff could have happened, but I just know I went to bed. I woke up at about 1 a.m. and I told her I was feeling, cramps and a lot of moving in the stomach, uncomfortable stuff. So she asked me if I wanted any pain meds. So I cannot remember the pain meds she administered me, but I'm not a pain medicine type of girl anyway. I never had cramps during my menstrual cycles or anything. So she kind of tried to tell me when I might have needed pain interventions. So eventually I just know I couldn't sleep because of the contractions. So I told her I would like something that would just help me sleep. So she gave me some kind of pain medicine, y'all, and it had me so high. So high. I don't know. I got some good sleep though. I got some good sleep. And then around about 3 a.m. At 1 a.m. when she came and checked me and gave me the pain meds, she checked my cervix. I was 3 centimeters dilated. So from about 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. I had dilated about 3 centimeters. So at this point, I had mild pain and I just wanted sleep. So she gave me some pain meds. Again, the pain meds were great. Highly recommend, if you can have them, get them. Okay, so I got them, got some good sleep. Around 3 a.m. I woke back up to use the bathroom, and then I had some more pain, of course. So at that point she came in and checked me. I was 4.5 centimeters. So at that point she was like, "You're dilating pretty good on this. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out and see how you go throughout the night and over into the next morning naturally." Since we had the medication just kind of shelf life, almost like a pill would be. It just distributes the medication as needed. Same thing with the Cervidil. It just pushed medicine into my cervix to get it naturally going. It wasn't to stay there forever. So she came in and removed it about 3 o'clock. I was 4.5 centimeters dilated at this point. So I went back to bed with no problem. Of course, it was getting a little bit more painful. I woke up about 7 o'clock. That's when the nurses changed shift, and that's when my actual OBGYN came in, and of course she just expressed her condolences. I had a flawless pregnancy, you all. I had no problems whatsoever. Every ultrasound visit, every doctor visit was just perfect. Heart rate was perfect. Everything was perfect. We were just ready for the big day, So when she came in, of course, she was like, what the heck went wrong? She was just down herself, anything she could have done better. And I just reassured her this was just God's plan. We just had to go along with it. There's no what ifs, what did I do, what have I done, what could I have done. and things of that nature. I just tried to reassure her as much as I could that it was not her fault. It wasn't anybody's fault. This was just God's plan. And so after that, she just kind of talked me through how the day would go. She told me she was going to check my cervix again, and it was just a waiting ball game at this point. So she checked my cervix, and I was at about 6 centimeters, I believe, around this time. This is about 9 o'clock. 9-ish, I was probably at about 6 centimeters. So at this point, the pain is just getting very unbearable. Mind you, I hadn't gotten an epidural. I wanted to have my baby naturally anyway. So it was not in my intentions to get an epidural. But around 6 centimeters, y'all, that's when the pain kicked in. I'm not playing, y'all. Contractions hurt. They hurt so bad. I mean, and my mom was in the room, so I couldn't curse. My mom and my daddy and Rain's father was in the room. I couldn't curse. Like, although I was in pain, I'm sure my mom and them probably would have understood. That's just disrespectful, and I couldn't see myself in there just cursing. But I just wanted to curse because the pain is like, ouch. Like, I just need to holler out some words to just get out this pent up pain that's in my pelvic area, you know. So you just want to like scream and holler and stuff. Instead, I just groan and moan through the whole contraction. I would just be grabbing onto something, and I just be until the whole thing was done. This is exactly how I fought every contraction, because it really is a mind thing, and it's just depending on how long your labor lasts. You know, you can end up having matter over mind, baby, and you end up doing things you wouldn't usually do if you had less time to go through the pain. And y'all feel me on that. So you know, I'm a couple hours into it. Mind you, I can get pain medicine whenever I want, because it wouldn't hurt my baby at all. So I was doped up on pain meds a lot, but the pain meds wipe your mind, not really the pain. Like, I was still very conscious of the pain I was in, but I think it did make it a little bit more bearable because I was kind of loopy in the head, you know. So yeah, like I said, around 9-ish, I was about 6 centimeters, and at this point, I remember a nurse and my doctor coming in, and they're just like trying to be as nice as possible saying this. It's funny to me, but okay, mind you, my child is not alive in the womb, and they are trying to say, you know, you can get the epidural because you're really not having your baby. You get what I'm saying? Like, I hate to make light of the situation. I hate to laugh and all that, but it was like, I understand where they were coming from. They were just trying to nicely say, you can get the epidural. It's not like y'all get it. They wanted me to get the epidural because I was in a lot of pain and I wasn't really having my baby to keep, if that makes sense. So that's what they tried to sit down and have a conversation with me, and I just kind of fell weak in the moment because I was tired and I was in pain, and I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll get the epidural. So y'all, what y'all probably don't know is epidural cannot come as soon as you say you want the epidural. Epidural would take about 30 minutes to order and 30 minutes to come. So it was going to be 30 minutes to an hour before I even got the epidural anyway, mind you. So I'm still going to be in pain for another 30 minutes to an hour. So I'm like, okay, cool, I can do that, but I can't do it from 6 to 10 centimeters because they could be hours, you know. So I went ahead and told them I'll get the epidural. They left out the room to go and put in the order, and I want to say about 30 minutes passed, and the lady had told me, she was like, if you start to feel pressure like in your behind, like your butt, if you feel like you got to do the number 2, that means you get more and more dilated than maybe the baby head. And so I was like, okay, I'll, you know, be mindful and try to feel that. So about 30 minutes went on, and you know, I kind of felt like I had the boo-boo, but it really wasn't severe. It was kind of like a poop, like a fart. So I was like, oh, it's cool or whatever. So I just keep laboring, you know. So about an hour passed, and I was like, okay, y'all, I feel like something going on down there. Like, you make the chick. She's like, oh, you was just at 6, you not ready yet. And I said, I don't know, y'all. Like I feel like I got a boo-boo. Like, I need to go to the bathroom. I got a boo-boo. She said, no, you stay there. Let me see what's going on. So y'all, she went in to check my cervix. She touched my baby head. I was 10 centimeters. I went from 6 centimeters to 10 centimeters in about 30, 45 minutes. Oh my God. I said there wasn't nothing but God. I knew I did not want the epidural. I just wanted to do it natural. I wanted to say I had a baby natural. I just, you know, I just wanted to do that. And, you know, I felt real bad that I had told them I was going to get the epidural in a moment of weakness. So that was just God just reaffirming, I got you, sister. I got you, my child. So I couldn't get the epidural. Next thing you know, when she said, oh, the head, she got on the phone. She was like, she is in active labor. Baby, they started the bed I was on, turned to the transformers, instead of laying straight, the leg went up like this. They cocked my leg over this shelf, cocked the other leg over this shelf. And I was up in the air like that. These my legs. And I, you know, they was up here. I said, now what y'all want me to do in this position? You know, like what they said, you gonna push at your next contraction. I said, oh no, I don't know who y'all expect to have a baby like that, but this is too uncomfortable. So I said, can I have my baby on my knees? I know what y'all think. Can I have my baby on my knees? Yes. I had read a post on Facebook, my mid-pregnancy, that being on your knees or standing, having a baby helps, you know, gravity just follow the natural pattern and it just goes down. You know, the baby just follows the natural gravity pattern and comes down at the canal how it's supposed to, at the vajayjay how it's supposed to, you know. So I was like, oh, that's cool, you know. And being pregnant, they don't even like you laying on your back because it constricts blood flow and all that in a certain point of your pregnancy. So I was like, why should I be having a baby on my back? That was just how I was thinking. I know millions of people do it and their babies come out fine, but this is just how I always wanted to do it. Again, this is just my story. So I was like, I always want to have my baby on my knees or standing up if it was my choice. So I was like, I don't feel comfortable pushing like this. Like I feel like I'm a rip from the rooter to the tutor. So can I just like turn around? She was like, yeah, do what you gotta do. So the transformer bumblebee, he went back flat and I flipped over on my knees. Y'all, this funny part. So mind you, I skipped a little piece. Before I had my baby, Rain's father had to leave and go do something. And we didn't expect me to go from 6 centimeters to 10 centimeters as quick as I did. So he missed the whole delivery. It was nobody but my mama in there. Again, I knew during my labor, I wanted no epidural. I wanted to have my baby on my knees, and I wanted my mama in the room. My mama did not want to be in the room at all. She was telling me my whole pregnancy, I'm not watching you have no baby. I'm not even gonna be in the room. Blah, 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 blah. She was the only one in the room, so she did not even have a choice. So she was in there holding my hand, and she just was hollering, ooh, I don't want to be in here. Ooh, I don't want to see this. You know, all that. So I'm like, Mom, just close your eyes, turn your head, and just hold my hand. Just hold. So I'm just squeezing her hand, of course. So I done turned over on my knees. And y'all, this funny part. A lady had a towel over her finger, gloves on, stuff like that, and put her hand over my booty hole. And I come to think of, it's like, what if I was pushing and I just that would have been so bad. So she, every time I pushed, she would put her finger over my booty hole. Like, nah, you ain't finna spray her, sister. So that was the funny part to me. I was kind of high, but it was really funny. I remembered it distinctly. So at this point, of course, I'm on my knees. Everybody's behind me, butt in the air. You know. So I'm pushing. She's like, push at your next contraction. So it took me about 3 good pushes, and my baby was out. 3 good pushes. And another thing, if you don't get an epidural, and I don't know if having your baby on your knees make a difference, but I could feel exactly when I needed to push or push hard, or when my push wasn't as effective. I feel like with an epidural, being that you're numb from the waist down, I don't think you'll really feel exactly where your baby is or what you could be doing better to make the process a little bit easier on both you and baby. So I felt literally everything from where her head was, when I need to give a stronger push or when I could do a more relaxed push. I listened to my body, and I was able to decrease as many, you know, pushes as it could have been if I was numb. So about 3 good pushes, Rain was out. And of course, when she was like, she's here, you know, more than anything, I just really, really, really wanted to hear her cry. They went ahead and cut the cord and, you know, took her over to the light and kind of wiped her face a little bit and brought her back to me. And I could hold her for a little while. So I held her for a little while before they had to, before I had to deliver the placenta. So that's another thing. After your baby comes out, you also have to deliver the placenta. So I held her for like 2 minutes and then gave him back and gave it to my mom and my dad. And delivered the placenta. So the placenta was nasty, but I liked it. Like, I had, at this point, I told them I wanted to see it. So I couldn't really see myself have her because I had her on my knees. So when I turned back over on my back and had the placenta, I was like, move all this stuff, like I want to see, you know. So I was looking down and she was just pushing on my stomach, and I had and pulling it out as I was pushing too. So it was slimy though, you know, you can ball it up and it'll come out. So that wasn't hard at all. And then we kind of both looked over the placenta, seeing was anything wrong with the placenta, why, you know, I had miscarried so late in my pregnancy, so close to term pretty much. And so we just really looked at the placenta real good, but it was fine. We decided to send it off for further testing. And those tests as well came back, you know, everything was fine with the placenta. So after I got cleaned up, a man came in and he cleaned, you know, all the blood and all the other stuff that come out with birth, whatever it may be. Cleaned all that off of me and put this big old pad with ice and all that, you know. So I didn't rip at all, which is really good. I had no tears whatsoever, which again, I think the position I had my baby helped, but that's just me. I feel like if I was up in that wall, sound with my legs up here, I feel like I would have split from root to tutor, because I had a pretty cheeky baby. But she was 4 pounds, 16 ounces, and still had about 4 weeks to go. So full term, I probably would have had an 8-pound baby. She's gonna be pretty big. And I was 8 pounds myself as a child, so I was expecting to have a big baby. But yeah, she's 4 pounds, pretty cheeky. So I felt like I would have ripped from root to tutor if I wouldn't have had her on my knees. But I had her on my knees, and I did not rip at all, did not tear at all. So my recovery was very easy as it goes to that. I was able to shower later on that night because I had no tears. Just recovery went a lot better without a tear, of course. What I didn't know about stillborn labor and delivery is that you're able to see your baby all pretty much as you want after you have her. So I had my baby, held her a few minutes, and then had my placenta, and I got her back for a few minutes. By the time her godparents and all them had showed up, they got to meet her fresh out of the petunia and all that, and everyone got to hold her and just, you know, meet her and stuff like that. And then we let her go for a little while I got cleaned up and stuff and got like a little nap in. So I got a small nap in, and I showered. I still couldn't eat. Or could I? No, I don't. I think I still couldn't eat at this point. I showered, and then I got her back. So I got her, kept her all that day pretty much. A lot of other social workers and therapists and the pastor of the hospital and all them come in and talk to you. You know, they kind of have to do a psyche eval, and they have to give burial information, if I want to be a donor, if I want to bury her, if I want to cremate, you know. So I had to make all those decisions same day, which could be a lot for a lot of people, but I mean, it was part of the process. You just have to do what you have to do. And so I had to, you know, answer some tough questions that day and all that, but I did get to spend a lot of time with her, which was much needed time. Although that was gonna be my first and last day with her, that was just the hand I was dealt this year, and I just dealt with it. But she was so beautiful. She looked just like her father folks, not like me. Only thing she had like me, y'all, was her toes and her fingers. That was me and my side. But other than that, I'm like, really, my girl. Like, it was really, you couldn't like me at all. She couldn't like me at all. But yeah, overall it was still nice. I got to take so many pictures and I was able to keep forever and all that. So I went in on January 1st, which was a Wednesday, and January 3rd, which was a Friday. I had her on the 2nd, and then on the 3rd I got discharged. I did decide to cremate Rain. I have her in a cute little urn that I'll show you all. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the bulk of my labor and delivery, how I went from start to finish. Big shout out to all the nurses and doctors that helped take care of me during my pregnancy, all my family and friends that reached out to me and sent nice messages once they got the news, that still send nice messages, that still contact me, letting me know that I'm in their thoughts and that they're still praying for my strength. I just want to thank you all. I just can't. I don't know how I would have gotten through everything if I didn't have this great support system and great community behind me to keep pushing me. I also have you all to share with now. So if you all enjoy my story time with my labor and delivery and would like to get to know me more, or just anything you all would like to see me do, just always feel free to contact me on one of my social medias. Leave a comment down in the comment section, or just, you know, you can email me anything y'all want to see. Let's just make this real inclusive. I'm very flexible now during quarantine, so I can film. So y'all just let me know what y'all want to see, what y'all are all into. I know y'all don't want to just be seeing stuff about me all the time, so I'm trying to switch it up. I'm trying to do all kind of stuff. So I'm just really feeling this whole thing out. So y'all communicate with me and let me know what y'all are liking versus what y'all are not liking. Subscribe, hit the like button. It really helps these videos, y'all. Anything y'all see me with on, if y'all like it, I can link it below. And yeah, just at the end of the day, just try and always be mindful of how you're treating others, and always send words of love, encouragement. They are highly needed. You never know what you would say or what you can do that is exactly what somebody else needed. So always be a light to others in the time of darkness. And I just want to thank y'all for sticking with me and supporting me throughout this journey. I'm having so much fun on YouTube and making these videos. I think these sit down talk videos are just so fun. These are my favorite to film, I think, and I'm getting a lot better at it. So just let me know what y'all want to see. I will just ramble on and on. So yes, don't forget to subscribe, turn on my post notifications so that you can be notified anytime I upload a video. I'm not really on a set schedule, so having that bell is, we all get those notifications come to our lock screen. We sit there bored and be like, oh, Forever Rain posted a new video to her YouTube channel, and you can just swipe and watch it. And yeah, it's lit. It's free. Who don't like something that's free? Free 99 to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment. It's free. Like, y'all, so mess with me on that. So yeah, I really enjoyed sitting down, reliving my labor and delivery. It was so fun going through the process. I'm just so grateful for being able to have had Rain, as safe as my labor and delivery went. Everything went so smooth, as well as my pregnancy. Although I didn't get the reward in the end, I have the experience of a lifetime. So thank you all for watching today, and I'll see you all in my next video.